First of all, we apologize. In this video, you're going to hear the words beautiful, stunning, amazing over and over.
Our vocabulary isn't quite as exquisite as it should be.
No, there's just no other words to describe an Alaskan cruise.
Hi, I'm Jody.
And I'm Kelly.
And we're
JK Cruising. We boarded the Ovation the end of September, and this was their last cruise of the season. The only way I know to describe this cruise is it is truly a bucket list cruise. Yeah. If you are ever even thought about taking an Alaskan cruise, we highly recommend that you do. Yeah. There are several cruise lines that go to Alaska, and we chose Royal Caribbean Ovation of the Seas. We chose this one because it had a retractable roof over the pool and a lot of indoor activities, which is great on a cold weather cruise. They had the Ripcord by iFly. They had the...
Which is a...
skydiving simulator.
Skydiving simulator, yeah.
Yeah. They had the bumper cars, the North Star. They had all kind of different things on it. Alaska's cruising season is from late April until the 1st of October. How much wildlife you see and how good the weather is, it's going to depend on when you choose your cruise. Like I said, we had the last of the season. We did see a few whales on our whale watching excursion, but most of them have already headed south. And we did not...
By the October, I think they said like by September the whales start to migrate south again. But we did see a couple of whales as we were going south. The last couple remaining whales were sort of tagging along beside the ship with us. Yeah. So we did see a couple of those. That was pretty cool.
So, like I said, we booked this cruise very last minute. We missed out on a lot of the good excursions, but we did find some through Expedia. So the port in Seattle was a very quick embarkation. It also gave us great views as we were leaving the city. Great views of the Space Needle and the city skyline. It was just beautiful to sail out of that city.
Yeah, to see the sail away program on, the deck, the top deck there, and have pictures, and selfies with you and the Space Needle and the skyline of Seattle in the background. That was super cool. So
now, one thing I can say about an Alaskan cruise, the first couple of days we had really
rough seas.
Yeah, really big swells. Yeah. So you're gonna want to keep that in mind. Now, once we got up into Alaska, it kind of calmed down and it wasn't so bad. But those first couple of days, the swells were really bad. So we had a virtual balcony, but honestly, it was...
Who's going to stay in their room, when you're going to Alaska, unless you have a balcony? But even then, like, we were upstairs, right?
We spent most of the time in the solarium.
Yeah, the solarium was so warm and comfy. And
and don't forget your binoculars, because sitting in the solarium, they give out blankets. You have your binoculars. You can just sit there and watch the views go by. Our first port was Juneau. This place was such a picturesque little town. You can see the waterfalls in the background, the green trees, and it was so cute. We had a little bit of time to take a walk around the town before we met up with our group for the whale watching excursion. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, hands down the best excursion that I have ever been on in my life. Is the whale watching excursion. And we didn't get one because we chose such a late time and we were so delayed in actually booking this. We didn't get one of Royal's excursions. We actually went to Expedia and booked one off of Expedia. And I tell you, I'm not so sure we didn't get the best excursion and the best crew and the best captain, and maybe all that was luck. But boy, that was a really good excursion.
Yeah, the captain and the tour guide could tell us which whale it was by the markings on their tail, and how far out of the water their tail came on a dive, they could tell us how long they were going to be underwater. We had one night of specialty dining, which we used at Wonderland. The restaurant is a little quirky and a little fun. It's decorated really unusual. We had to paint our menus with water for the food to show up, for the selection to show up. They had sun, ice, fire, earth, and sea, and a selection from each one of those. You could choose from each one of those. And each dish had its own unique taste that was representing the element that it was under, and a unique presentation. The chocolate dessert that you poured chocolate over to melt away the chocolate and it had caramel popcorn was unbelievable.
By far, probably the best part of the whole meal.
They play a lot on the food looking like one thing and tasting like something else.
Yeah.
So it was a very
And they accomplished that. I guarantee you they accomplished that. You think the food's going to taste this way, and it winds up tasting 180 degrees from what you thought it was going to be.
It was a very unique experience, for sure. The next day we went cruising on the Inside Passage, which meant we spent most of the time hanging out in the solarium, taking naps, reading, having a great time.
Catching up on emails and YouTube and, you know, that kind of stuff we have.
Every once in a while somebody would shout out whale or something and everybody would run to that side of the ship, and of course it was gone. But we had a great time, you know, looking for the wildlife. Skagway was our next stop, and we chose the train excursion. The tour guides were very knowledgeable.
That was the White Pass?
The White Pass.
White Pass train, yeah.
Yes. The tour guides were very knowledgeable, very entertaining, and it was just up the mountain, a quick turnaround, and then back down, but the scenery was gorgeous. And then afterward, we got to spend a little bit of time in Skagway. There's a little bitty Christmas shop there that I highly suggest you stop in. We try to grab a Christmas ornament everywhere we go. And these people were just so sweet and so knowledgeable of the area. We had a great time talking with them.
The other thing to think about when you go on these cruises, when you go, one of my tips would be and I know this isn't a tip video, but I'm going to give you a tip right now, so stay tuned. Here it comes in 5, 4, 3, 2, here we go. One of my tips is if you go on the very last cruise of the season, a lot of the shops have already shut down for the year because they're planning to leave town and they're going to stay away, and those shops will close for 5 months until April when they reopen.
We had a lot of fun in Skagway. After that, the next day it was just cruising, and this time it was up through Endicott Arms and Dawes Glacier. We spent most of the time in the solarium again. Now this time it was a little chilly in the solarium. The further north in Alaska we got, the chillier the solarium got. But like I said, they did hand out blankets. If you had a hat and other things, you were nice and warm. But watching these huge chunks of ice float by was just crazy. And the captain got us as close as he safely could to the glacier, and then he turned the boat around a complete 360 so everybody could see the glacier. That was a lot of fun. It was just surreal to see that huge glacier. Our last port was Victoria, Canada. We chose a great zip lining experience on this one. And on the bus ride there and the bus ride back, the tour guide was very knowledgeable.
About 30 minutes both ways. And
I don't think I have ever seen greener grass anywhere.
Yeah, that was really green, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
And Victoria actually has the nickname of the Garden City. And when you're there, you can see why. I mean, it is just gorgeous. And I would love to go back and see it when all the flowers are in bloom, because it was just a beautiful city.
Yeah.
Our cruise ended in Vancouver instead of Seattle. And it really wasn't bad in disembarking in one city as compared to the city that you embarked in.
I thought it was going to be worse than what it was.
No,
but it really wasn't
it was
bad
easy
at all.
breezy.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm glad we did this cruise, even though it was a cold weather cruise. It was definitely
And even though we didn't do all the proper planning, we just sort of on the fly did it. Like we probably should have done a little bit more planning, but we didn't. And you know what? We had a great cruise anyway.
Yeah, we had a great cruise anyway. I definitely want to go back to Alaska. So let us know in the comments below what your favorite ports are in Alaska, what your favorite excursions are,
Your favorite cruise line.
and your favorite cruise line getting there. So let us know what you think about Alaska and an Alaskan cruise.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it. We hope you've enjoyed our silliness and our funness, and we hope you're having fun with us and enjoying watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help us know that you are enjoying and appreciate what we're doing, and it guides us as to what we want to do on our next video. So we really do appreciate you. Again, please hit that subscribe button if it's appropriate for you. We really do appreciate it.
And get out there and go cruising.
Go cruising. Yeah, baby.